maximum height. All right, so I used to live in Portage Park from 2013 to 2018, and so I'll read a poem that I wrote about during that time period at some point. And I was reading Octavio Paz at the time. Jefferson Park Transit Center. Don't ask if thoroughfares can take you to the center. The center, too, is the periphery and a promise. Time can stretch around here. Advertise a store that makes wristwatches an option. Dehydrated, possibly? A young man just bounced into the present tense. And look, his tattoo just says name. I'll see you, Octavio, when all languages fuse into one word.
When your brother, who is in jail again, a poem written from myself to myself. When your brother calls to say his fists are turning into thieves, and your niece is a sweet collection of thrushes and wrens, you should take notes so that you can understand the curve of his reasoning. You must accept that indeed you come from a long line of wounds. Return to your village and open up the book of the mumbling dead. Reading is your last good way of saying your name without it hurting. Your name, all the flowers that are edible. After all, you come from a line of chefs. Open to the page lined with, there are always, already, and only 3 true outcomes. The fox to the hare, the splinter to the sea, and the unsure thing. Eventually, you will understand the voices of the sand and the rocks and theorize houses as an attraction of bricks. There are so many things that don't make sense. Like the timid girls wandering onto the private beach. Like your body, irresolute and shaped by food. If you can accept your deceased pulling their chairs up to your table to eat, if you can accept the rain as just another pattern happening, you can begin to indent your belief. After all, you come from the sea.
Can I ask you to pick a number 1 through 70?
1 through 7.
Yeah.
32.
32. Okay. Stay the corner right away.
Oh, naughty boy.
That's a good title for a manuscript. This is called Madman. It would be nice if a madman kicked down the back door. Then it occurs to me that I am barefoot and at a tactical disadvantage. I set my coffee back on the kitchen table, which isn't just the kitchen table, but also the concealment I'll use if a madman kicks down the back door.
All right, since the 3 of us got up, there are 3 seats available for anyone standing in the corner, if you wish. I'm going to read from my manuscript in progress, and it's called A Job for Bulldozers. It's not done yet. This is a working title, and the poem is called Changing Planes, and it's inspired by the novel by the same title by Ursula K. Le Guin, and I shamelessly steal from her in this poem. Changing Planes. I have no papers, officers. There is no written record of my language. I became unwilling to speak around the age of 6. I have no papers, officers. I'm a quiet host. Won't comment or compare, won't even listen to sociable conversation. But I will leave the building when someone yells, fire. Like a cat, I won't mention any of your shortcomings. I won't tell others of your confessions, officers. I have no papers, but I have a right to remain silent. In fact, my silence is proverbial. Although, yes, I could talk about sex, food, and smells and bowel movements, but I'm a dog, colorblind. I have no papers. I have no papers, but I do have leaves for ears. I'm all evergreen. I never fall. No papers. I was born more penguin than human. I eat raw fish and swim in frigid waters. I don't have any papers with me. I'm 4% corn. I work as a waitress at a diner not too far from your facility. I have no papers. I'm a cross between an earwig and a bear. I eat paper, officers.
I like that our stuff's all getting messed up here, like intermixed. I'm going to read from a new manuscript as well. If I can find my paper. Did you use the microphone?
I did, but I kind of have to stay away from it.
Oh, okay. Am I too close? Was that the problem? How's that now?
That's
Is
good.
that better? Thank you. I need help. Dystopian skyline. In the middle of the crumbling and rumbling and the actions it requires, in the middle of the ground shifting underfoot, the buildings newly inhabiting a dystopian skyline, the uniform symbolizing a return to the worst form, in the middle of the making of nut butter-free sandwiches, the scrubbing dirt off cars with taillights hanging by wires, the sirens going off that could mean one thing but mean another for now. In the middle of $12 eggs and $12 milk, the gas tank that won't fill to the brim, in the middle of the Ari Aster movies playing out on news channels, which are now owned by the regime and thus made to seem as if they are not playing Ari Aster movies disguised as the news. In the punch drunkenness of it all, I watch a fictional woman facing possible annihilation, seeing sign of the times, and maybe flirt a little. Once again, and for the first time, I know what longing is.
Jay, can you pick a number between, let's see, 9 and 70, except 32? 18. This is called the word love. I used the word love when what I meant was an institution. Once gave me a prize for orchestrating the best lie out of a slush pile of lies. I traveled the country saying poetry until I didn't mean poetry anymore. These days, I'm more person than poet, but when my baby points to things, I still say their names. Dog, rock, airplane. Then I realize I'm just screwing up her head.
And I'll read one more poem also from that manuscript in the making. It's called Litany. It's a Golden Shovel poem, and I pay tribute to Gwendolyn Brooks. Litany. I tilt the just extinguished candle, and the peony-scented wax spills on the pool table, and I'm not the candle maker these players called for. I've forgotten 7 languages. Like an archipelago at the whim of intoxicated emperors from the era of nuclear proliferation, I'm golden, but never alone. Oh, to be left alone, with a shovel, water, mystery seeds, and a patch of fertile dirt. Instead, we are competitive walkers, the sudden gust of real Arctic wind in me. Broadway Avenue is our track, but cool passers-by don't notice us as we race for our lives. We are all either emperors or gladiators left alive only to entertain the emperors, and school and life both teach us that neither side is all that smart. We write and keep writing the same long poem, here to lurk in dark corners until the poem ends when we end. As of late, I've been thinking Gwendolyn Brooks took the same trains we take. And there's a tavern, but each red line stop. Strike that. There's one by any stop, period, and she'd go straight for the bar stool. Because young pool players knew something we know now, but award committees have always missed as we sing to the felt-covered, wax-stained tabletop. The definition of sin depends on which side of the emperor-gladiator divide we end up on. Young pool players haunted Brooks, their thin shadows slinking around all her life, like the herbal notes of gin. And now, the poet and the immortalized boys watch as we, you and I, or they, them, we, us, try to breathe, try to jazz our dirty, our dry Chicago air in January, as we try to eat oxygen in June, and we will never be full. They watch. I said it. They didn't die. They became time, between forever and never and soon.
And now I'm gonna do you all get to choose. From the book, you can either hear The Plebes, or Descending a Staircase, or from the new manuscript, you can hear Julio, My Rumor, My Butterfly. Okay. This is a poem about Julio Torres, the comedian, and kind of a visual artist, which is why I wanted to do it for today. Julio, my rumor, my butterfly, my trapezoidal rhombus, your mind a fantastical house you and your mom built, just shapes cut out of space or cluttered with miniatures, today filling with butterflies slaughtered and resurrected to fly ghost-like in half-light across the centered stage your life provides all of us. I want to wear you around, your tongue lolling in absurd delight, saying, "Free Palestine" to passers-by like one says, "Let's get pancakes and coffee." Stunningly every day, obvious, but mostly I just click play and your stars flood with light as studio techs sweat to find pinks layered into blonde, instantly knowing you ask so little beyond half magic, meeting all the talkers there where they are, flailing on couches and covering you with the wards to themselves while you undercut everything, sweetly, calmly, and glittering, until at last they find you, a real boy pretending, conducting, laughing out colors that invent you as they fly from your mouth.
By the way, my friend Jay is test driving Chicago, so if you deciding if you want to move here or not, so if you have any reasons, like good things you want to say to them about why they should or should not move here, let them. Their first time here, by the way. Lastly, a poem goes in search of a throat, like a glove goes in search of a forest. The trees needed to be told it's not that serious, and the children needed to be told it's that serious. Of course, the house came with a weeping room, fully designed to measure distances. The forehead to the moon, the spinal cord to the ditch, the steak knife to the closet. Each rotting carcass flows one way, motherward. Why pay $1 for such scenery when you can pay several thousand? They said looting, but meant longing. It comes and goes like mouths, time unbuckling. I stand behind an unlocked door, unsure what to do next.